What's up, students? I hope you have viewed my previous video. So let us continue with where we left. We have already discussed about buccal cavity. So food passes from the buccal cavity to the esophagus. Esophagus is otherwise known as the food pipe, which joins the stomach. The whole of the alimentary canal, there is a wave-like movement. This wave-like movement is known as peristalsis. This wave-like movement helps to push the food forward in a regulated manner. The alimentary canal is made of circular muscles. These circular muscles continuously contract and relax and helps to push the food forward, and it gives a wavy effect. This movement is known as peristalsis. So the wave-like movement which helps to push the food forward in a regulated manner is known as peristalsis, and this is found all throughout the alimentary canal. Food reaches the stomach. Now, at the junction of the stomach and the esophagus is present a sphincter. Let us discuss what is a sphincter. A sphincter is a circular muscle that opens only to one side. So when food reaches at that point, the sphincter opens and food enters the stomach. Stomach is a J-shaped, highly muscular bag-like structure. Since the walls of the stomach are highly muscular, it churns the food thoroughly. The walls of the stomach have gastric glands. These gastric glands produce HCl, mucus, pepsin. Let us first see the function of HCl. HCl kills all the germs that has entered along with the food. HCl provides an acidic medium. So, this acidic medium helps to activate the pepsin. Mucus helps to protect the walls of the stomach from the corrosive action of HCl. Pepsin helps in the digestion of proteins. So once again, HCl helps to kill the germs and activate the pepsin. Mucus helps to prevent the corrosive action of HCl, and pepsin helps in the digestion of proteins. Now at the junction of the stomach and the small intestine, there is a sphincter. This sphincter opens and food passes into the small intestine. Now before that, I would like to say something. Children, often you experience a burning sensation or sometimes a stomach pain. This is due to excessive production of HCl in your stomach. And if you say this to your physician, he might prescribe an antacid. So what is the role of antacid? Antacids are usually bases or alkalis. This base reacts with the acid and produce salt and water. Now this reaction is known as neutralization. So when the whole thing is neutralized, you are relieved of pain. Coming back to food which has entered the small intestine. So the sphincter opens and food from the stomach enters the small intestine. Now as food enters the small intestine, the small intestine receives various kinds of juices from different glands. First let us see liver. Liver is the largest gland in our body and it produces bile. And this bile is stored in the gallbladder. Now this bile reaches the small intestine through the bile duct. Bile produces, or bile gives an alkaline medium for activation, which is very essential for the activation of the enzymes that are found in the pancreatic juice. Once again, bile helps to activate the enzymes that are present in the pancreatic juice. Bile salts help in the emulsification of fat. Now, what is this emulsification of fat? Breaking down of large molecules of fat into smaller molecules of fat. That is known as emulsification of fat. Now, pancreas is another gland. Pancreas produces pancreatic juice. This pancreatic juice reaches the small intestine through the pancreatic duct. The pancreatic juice contains two enzymes, that is trypsin and lipase. Trypsin helps for the digestion of proteins, while lipase helps in the digestion of emulsified fat. Now, food is partially digested and it passes on to the latter part of the small intestine. Here, intestinal glands are present. These intestinal glands produce intestinal juices, and these intestinal juices contain various enzymes which help in the final digestion of food. Now, what are the final products? Carbohydrates form glucose, proteins form amino acids, and fats into fatty acids and glycerol. So, the final products of digestion are glucose, amino acids, fats and glycerol, fatty acids and glycerol. Now, the small intestine, with that, the complete digestion of food is over. Now, we move on to the next process, that is absorption and assimilation. The small intestine is designed in such a way that finger-like projection, the inner walls form finger-like projections. These finger-like projections increase the surface area for absorption and they are richly supplied with blood capillaries. So, this digested food is absorbed and assimilated into the blood. Once this is over, the waste is then passed on to the large intestine. In the large intestine also villi are present, but the function of villi in the large intestine is not that of the small intestine. In the large intestine, villi help to absorb excess amount of water. When this excess amount of water is absorbed, the waste material becomes semi-solid in condition. And then this semi-solid waste is stored in the rectum. And from the rectum, at regular intervals, it is passed out. That is the next process, ejection. It is passed out by the opening of a sphincter known as anal sphincter. Thus, all the 5 processes of nutrition are over. That is, ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and ejection are over. With that, nutrition in humans, this topic is over. Let us also see a small topic, that is dental caries. When we have food and suppose we do not brush, so what happens? A lot of bacteria develop in our mouth and this bacteria act on the food and produce acid. This acid acts upon the dentine, which causes the softening of the dentine. And not only that, if we do not brush our teeth properly, large masses of bacteria along with food particles remain in our mouth and form dental plaque. Thus, this result in bad breath and tooth decay. This is known as dental caries. Thank you, children.